Hey everybody. Since my last video, I've spent a lot of time in Sicily, and right now I'm actually in Malta. So I just spent the last 3 days in Malta, and I'm gonna catch a flight in about 2 hours back to Trapani Airport in Sicily. So going back about a week, I got into a bit of a rhythm where I just sort of stay one night in each city, and I made my way down from the bottom of Calabria to caught the ferry over to Sicily, and then rode down the east coast. So I stayed in Taormina, Catania, and Siracusa. I think one night each. Maybe I stayed 2 nights in one of those places, but yeah, I got into a rhythm where I just sort of get up and plan where I wanted to go that night, ride for about five or 6 hours, with a lunch break in between, and then check into the hostel, meet some people, and then get food, and then go to bed and do the same thing. Some music's just started over there. Hope it doesn't drown me out. But what was I saying? Yeah. So then when I got down to Siracusa, I was planning to. Sorry, they're playing Doors. I like this song, so I'm gonna listen to this song, then I'll continue the video. Yeah. So anyway, what I was saying was my plan was because I wanted to visit Malta for a few days because it's so close to Sicily, and my plan was to get a ferry from, I can't remember the name of the port, but a ferry from Sicily to Malta. And I expected the ticket maybe to be like 20, 25 euros or 30 euros, but it was 88 euros. So I thought that was a bit expensive. And what I found out after that was that I could actually get a flight for way cheaper. So the flight I booked was from Trapani, which is way on the other side of Sicily. And at this point I'm in Siracusa, which if you look on a map, or if you know where it is, it's just bottom right of Sicily. And Trapani is kind of like middle left. Such professional terms, but basically it would have taken me about 3 full days of riding to make my way over to Trapani. And I thought, like, at this point I've kind of like, I can see the day I'm flying back in my calendar, and like it's coming towards the end of the trip, so I thought I don't really want to waste. I mean, I'm sure it wouldn't have been a waste, but 3 days of riding, and it's not a very popular area to travel. Like the route that my map would have taken me, there are no hostels, so I would have either had to camp, I mean, which is fine. Like I brought a tent for a reason, but or stay in B&Bs. But eventually I decided just to pay, 10 euros just to get a bus, a 4 hour bus over to Trapani. So in my head, I, gained a few days there by not riding. So yeah, stayed at a hostel there, and then I got a flight which cost me 33 euros from Trapani to Malta. And this is the first time I've been kind of like I've been ripped off a bit. So the airline was super cheap, and there's always a catch. So the return flight was 33 euros. I get there and I go to check in, and they told me I should have checked in on my phone up to 2 hours before the flight, and it's going to cost me 55 euros to print out the boarding pass at the airport. So, I mean, I was annoyed, but there was nothing I could really do, except it did cross my mind that I could just not take that flight and just book another flight the next day, and it would have been cheaper because, I would have just had to pay the flight again, which is 33 euros instead of the boarding pass fee, which is 55 euros. But there were no flights going the next day or the day after, so I just sucked it up and paid the 55. And I mean, it sucks, but it's kind of the first time that's happened to me on this trip. Like I've been pretty lucky with everything, with money, and I've never really had any unfortunate encounters or anything. So I just, I knew something like that was going to happen at least once, so that must have been it. And And the funny thing is, if you haven't realized already, the 33 euros, the return flight costing 33 euros plus the $55 fee that I had to pay, comes to $88, 88 euros, which is exactly how much the ferry would have cost me. So that's kind of funny. But anyway, I flew to Malta and I spent a half day, 3 full days, and then now I'm at the end of my half day now. So 3 full days, 4 I guess if you include the 2 half days, and it's been perfect. Like the weather has just been like 25 degrees Celsius, consistently sunny. The beaches are awesome. Public transport's pretty cheap. Although the food and like a few other things have been a bit more expensive than I thought. The hostels was really cheap. Yeah, some things are super cheap here in Malta, and some things are a bit, I don't know, like tourist price. Maybe I've just fallen into some touristy areas, but yeah, that's where I am now, and I'm about to fly back in 2 hours to Trapani and pick up my bike because by the way, I left my bike at the hostel I stayed at in Trapani. They were really nice people, and they had like a bike storage thing, and they were just happy to keep it for a few days, so I trust them with the bike. Yeah, so then I'll ride to San Vito, San Vito Capo, Lo Capo. I can't remember. It's like a cool little beach town just north of Trapani, and then I'll go to Corleone, which I don't know if there's any museums, like Godfather museums or some sort of tours. I probably won't take any tours, but I don't know. I thought while I'm in the area, I'd visit Corleone because earlier in the year I watched the two Godfathers, and good movies, good movies. So thought I'd visit that town, and then Palermo for 5 days or 5 nights. I think I've got 4 or 5 nights booked there, and then I'll get a ferry back to up north in Italy, like around Rome or Florence. I haven't decided yet. I think I can get a ferry to Rome or up to Livorno. I've got to look into that a bit more, but yeah, well, the trip's gone really quickly, and it's kind of crazy that I'm already planning like my last few days in Rome, and yeah, but trying to think if there's anything else. Yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah, that's about it.